As a small business owner, at many stages of your journey, your number one goal is to grow your business. Unfortunately, as a small business accountant, I see people struggle in this area a lot. So here are 5 truths as why you aren't growing your small business and how you can fix them. The first one is focusing on growing profits too much in the early days. And this might sound a bit odd, but what I mean by this is people get too focused on the bottom line profit and forget about aiming to grow the revenue as well. Now you've got to get this balance right between profits and revenue, but to grow profits, typically you need to grow revenue, because the only way you can grow profits without growing revenue is to cut expenses, and that is limited. And it's why the focus needs to be split between not only ensuring you're profitable, but ensuring that new revenue is coming through the door. Whether you're selling a product or whether you're selling a service, you need to have new revenue coming in, and your existing revenue needs to be retained in order to grow the total revenue of the business, which will hopefully then grow the profit of the business. So make sure you've got strategies in place to be growing your revenue of your business and ensuring it's profitable along the way. Now this does lead perfectly into the second one, and as that is not knowing whether they're even making a profit. And this does sound crazy, but there's a lot of people out there that don't really know, are they actually making a profit on a monthly basis, a quarterly basis, or an annual basis? And you need to know, not only are you making a profit overall for your business, but are you making a profit on individual segments of your business? So whether you sell products, which products are actually making you the profit? What are your best sellers when it comes to profit? If you're selling a service, what's your hourly rates? Are you actually making profit off all your employees or yourself? Do you know where the profit in your business is being generated, and is the overall business making profit? You need to know this to ensure that you are actually making that profit if you're growing the revenue. Because you might be growing the revenue in one particular aspect of your business, and you might go, yeah, that's great, revenue is going up, business must be booming. And then when you look at your end of year figures or end of quarter figures, you haven't made any more profit because that area of your business isn't actually profitable. Maybe you're selling product X and the cost of the product is $10 and you're selling it for $12, but by the time you add in costs, etc., you're actually making no profit off that item. And even if you sell 1 million of that item, if you're making $0 off it, there's $0 profit left. So you need to understand, where are you making profit, and are you actually making profit in all areas of your business? The previous step is all about knowing your numbers in those areas, and that leads perfectly into number 3, which is the record keeping is failing. So many businesses are failing with their record keeping, whether that's their accounting and tax figures or whether it's general business numbers. They don't have the adequate records to make business decisions or to even comply with ATO regulations, for example, here in Australia. You need to know your numbers to be able to grow your small business. Now, the reason why record keeping typically fails is for one of 2 reasons. It's either a lack of knowledge or a lack of time. If there's a lack of knowledge, go and educate yourself about what are the requirements when it comes to accounting and tax work that you need to be tracking to be able to comply. If it's general numbers for your business, what numbers are important for you to track? We've talked about it just before when it comes to profit per item. So you know, is your business growing? Is it succeeding? If there's a lack of time, then you need to go, how can I outsource some of this record keeping to ensure I'm being fed the data to make the decisions or to comply with rules, but I'm not the one processing all of the bulk work of it? If it's accounting or bookkeeping work, can you go to your accountant or your bookkeeper and say, hey, can you take over some of this? Maybe it's the general day-to-day bookkeeping or your payroll or your BAS. What can they do for you to free up some of your time? If it's general numbers for your business, maybe it's time to hire an admin person or get someone else within the organization to start crunching some of the numbers for you. Now, you obviously want to make sure this data is accurate, but if it can free up your time to focus on other growth areas or other more important areas of the business, but you're still getting access to that data. So your record keeping your business is actually really important, and a lot of people just throw it to the side and don't worry about it. But the record keeping is what allows small businesses to grow into larger businesses. Now, before I talk about the 4th truth, have you subscribed to this YouTube channel? Because that is going to help you grow your small business. Well, I can't guarantee that, but I'm putting out a lot of information on tax, on small business, on how to grow your small business. And if you've hit that subscribe button, you're a part of this journey of me getting to 10,000 subscribers. I'm almost there. We're in the 9,000s now. We have just over 500 to go. I appreciate all your support. Now let's get back into the video. The 4th area where people go wrong when it comes to growing their small business is they have the wrong people. When you're growing a small business, unfortunately, your time is limited. It eventually caps out, and in most industries, you can't grow without then growing the people of the business. Now, this is an important stage of a business, and there's multiple things you have to get right to ensure this is actually successful for your business. There is no point being a 10-person company making $500,000 a year if when you're a one-person company, you're making the same amount. You want to make sure that as the people grow, the business is growing and the profits are growing. And to do this, you need to understand, have you got the right people in the right places? When it comes to hiring in the first point, what are the tasks you don't like doing or aren't profitable, and therefore you're better off to bring someone else in to do them so that your time can be freed up to do other work, whether that's more, say, client-facing work, or maybe it's growth activities, or maybe it's just general business work that you're not getting the time to do. But you need to have a way to track this to see if it's being successful. Like I said, if the business is growing and the people are growing and the revenue is growing but the profits aren't growing, something is going wrong somewhere. If you're hiring someone, what is your system to evaluate, is that being successful? You want to be able to look at, is it being profitable, me having that extra person? Now, if you know it should be profitable but it's not, well then it might come down to, is this really the right person for the business? You want to make sure that if someone doesn't fit your business, be honest with them. See whether it's fixable or get them to move on to somewhere else that's going to be better suited to them. The quicker you can action these things, the more successful you can be at actually expanding this business successfully and not expanding it without expanding profits. This does tie well in with everything we've talked about by tracking your numbers, understanding your profits, understanding your revenue, understanding your general numbers. This all does then link into hiring people because you know, yep, that's successful because I've hired this tradie, they're going out doing jobs for me, they're bringing in $150,000 of revenue a year, I'm paying them $80,000, I know there's a bit of other cost there, but I'm making $50,000 a year off them, for instance. You know that was profitable hire, and you know they're the right person for the job because you're getting good feedback, etc. So you're able to go, yep, that hire gets a big tick. The fifth one is all around business structures. I've talked about it a few times on this channel, so I won't go into it too deep. But if you have the wrong business structure, then you're likely costing yourself money, which is going to prevent your business from growing. This is especially true if your business has started to expand beyond day one. Maybe you just started as a sole trader and next minute the business has boomed, you're hiring all these people, you've got an office space now, you're expanding, and all of a sudden your business structure doesn't match the current business. Your business structure needs to match where you're currently at or where you're planning to get to, not where you were at 5 years ago. So it's really important to review your business structure on an ongoing basis with your accountant to ensure that this actually suits what you need right now. It is really good to have an idea of what are your future plans as well, because this could change how your business is going to be structured today because you want it to get to a certain spot in the future. Maybe you are really planning on this business becoming huge and you want to exit it in 5 years' time, and maybe a company structure makes more sense because you want to bring other people in and buy some shares along the way. Or maybe you're going, no, this is just going to always remain small, I don't want it to be big, and maybe a sole trader suits you. Speak to a tax agent, speak to your accountant about what suits you best now and what's going to suit you best in the future, and review this on an ongoing basis to make sure your structure matches your business. If you're looking for other business tips, I've got a whole playlist here where I go through a range of different tax and general business tips to help you grow your small business. I hope to see you over there.